Hello and welcome. You're watching AD4TV Radio Weekly Review, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Adirayo Senami. Following weeks of protests against police brutality and racism sparked by the death of George Floyd, an African-American who died in police custody, anti-racism and police brutality protests have spread across the world. George Floyd was laid to rest on Tuesday in Houston Memorial Gardens, Texas, and Derek Chauvin, the police officer charged with his murder, was first incarcerated at the Hennepin County Jail and granted bail in the sum of $1 million. The other police officers involved in the incident were also arrested and charged with felony assault. Meanwhile, the protests have gained momentum across the world. In Europe, Belgium, Germany, and Britain, they've seen large gatherings of protests demolishing century-old statues and monuments of known slave owners. It has also led to the review and disbanding of some police departments in the U.S. and the introduction of the Justice in Policing Act 2020, which will make it easier to prosecute police for misconduct, ban chokeholds, and address racism. Similarly, protests resumed in Hong Kong, and police in China took dispersal action as hundreds gathered to mark the June 12th anniversary of last year's anti-government unrest. Demonstrators hit the streets in various districts on Friday night, defying social distancing rules despite police warning. On June 12 last year, Hong Kong recorded the first major clash of 2019, when tens of thousands took to the streets in a series of protests against a legislation they feared might allow extradition to China. Police used tear gas, pepper spray, and rubber bullets to disperse the protesters. And in Nigeria, there's been an outrage over incessant sexual violence against women and children, which seems to have increased during the lockdown. Human rights campaigners and gender equality champions rallied around in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Across the country, other states joined the protest, taking a stance on rape. On Thursday, the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum and governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, called on all state governors to domesticate Violence Act, the Child Rights Act, and the updated Penal Code to ensure the protection of women and children. Also lending her voice to the conversation, Ms. Evelyn Ohilo, media practitioner and president-founder, Initiative for Women's Accelerated Development in Africa, INWOD, in an interview on AD4TV Radio, charged the Nigerian Governors Forum to walk the talk.
We want to see practical action being taken, practically enforcing the mandates they've given those units to ensure that to the barest minimum, if there's a rape case and girls are brought there, that the girls will be protected. They will not now turn to start accusing the girls of dressing skimpily, blaming the victim.
Meanwhile, as reported on AD4TV Radio, the Burundi government declared a week of mourning following the death of President Pierre Nkurunziza, who died on Tuesday at the age of 55 of a cardiac arrest, suspected to be brought on by COVID-19 complications. His wife, Denise Bokomi Nkurunziza, has since returned to mourn her husband. Burundi's Constitutional Court on Friday ruled that President-elect Evariste Ndayishimiye should be sworn in immediately. It is not clear when or where the swearing-in will take place. And in Nigeria, the federal government officially commissioned the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja, a year after President Muhammadu Buhari announced the renaming of the national stadium in the city to honor and immortalize Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, the acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election. President Buhari had in 2018 declared June 12 as a New Democracy Day to honor the philanthropist and politician. We'll take a break now. We'll be right back.
Just when will all this madness stop? Just when will we think it enough and decide to halt? Just when will we stop to think, wake up and realize that what we beat, batter, wrestle, rape, hate, maim, kill and destroy is not just white or black, poor or rich, Muslim or Christian, young or old, boy or girl, woman or man, bound or free, but it's flesh and blood, hearts and souls, its feelings and emotions, dreams and aspirations, its destinies and hopes, expectations and ambitions, the could have, would have, and should have. It's people like us that we injure and tear apart, that we hurt, watch suffer, and bleed to death. Just when will this madness stop?
Welcome back. You're watching AD4TV Radio. The capital city of Ghana, Accra, on Monday experienced heavy rainfall, leading to a flood that destroyed several property and makeshift structures and major roads as a result of poor drainage and buildings erected on waterways. Ghanaian soldiers and staff from the National Disaster Management Organization rescued residents stranded as a result of the floodwaters. One person died as a result of the flood. In another development, Kathy Luders has been appointed to lead the United States National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA's Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate. NASA head Jim Bridenstine announced Saturday on Twitter. Luders, he said, has successfully managed both commercial crew and commercial cargo programs and has for years been in charge of the exhaustive testing program for space capsules developed by SpaceX, Boeing, and other companies that are partnering with NASA to build vessels that can safely take humans into space. And in sports, Spanish football La Liga resumed Thursday behind closed doors, with Sevilla and Real Betis opening the season after 3 months away due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The league will host 110 games in 39 days, with clubs playing every 3 days for 5.5 weeks. Sevilla's coach, Julen Lopetegui, says the team is excited to return to the field. And boxing is set to return July to Las Vegas after Nevada State Athletic Commission granted permission for the resumption of combat sports in the state on Wednesday. The game was halted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Nevada Chiefs approved 2 boxing cards in June, which will put on the promoter Top Rank, as well as 2 Ultimate Fighting Championship events. The cards are the first combat sports events to be staged in Nevada since the COVID-19 pandemic erupted. And that's it in our weekly review. You can join the conversation on our website at www.ad4tvradio.com. Please follow us on our social media platforms at AD4TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at AD4TV Radio. Many thanks for watching. I am Adirayo Senami.